Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Fans react to Bronny James' big performance on Thursday. You are here, home/sports/NBA/fans react to Bronny James' big performance on Thursday. Fans react to Bronny James' big performance on Thursday. Avatar photo. December 13, 2024. By Timothy Lindsay. At Timo Lindsay. 0 comments. Follow the Cold Wire on Google News. Follow us. Fans react to Bronny James' big performance on Thursday. Photo by Christian Peterson/Getty Images. The Los Angeles Lakers may have been more right about Bronny James than originally thought. In Thursday night's performance for the Lakers' G League affiliate, the South Bay Lakers, James had the best performance of his young career, scoring 30 points on 13 of 23 shooting. He is now averaging 14.0 points, 3.5 rebounds, and 2.5 assists, while having been in the G League for 4 games. The former USC guard is proving that he was not drafted to the NBA just because of who his father is. Fans across social media have reacted to this latest performance of James in a very positive manner. If he keeps playing like this, the Lakers are going to have no choice but to add him back onto their game-day roster at some point soon. His explosion and ability to score at will is very evident. The dream for Lakers fans would be if he came back to the squad and helped propel them to a deep playoff run later on in the year. Until then, all fans can hope for is James putting together performances like this on a nightly basis, whether that is in the G League or the NBA. While LeBron James's days in the NBA are seemingly numbered, considering nobody can stop Father Time, it looks like his son's days in the NBA could be unlimited in the future with the potential and talent that he possesses. Time will tell when the Lakers themselves decide to make the call to bring back Bronny James to the roster. NBA Insider claims Lakers won't be title contenders until LeBron James retires. An anonymous NBA insider has shared a controversial take, claiming the Los Angeles Lakers are unlikely to contend for a championship until LeBron James decides to retire. Speaking to Steve Bulpett of Heavy.com, the insider attributed the Lakers' current struggles to an unrealistic reliance on James at nearly 40 years old. It's the same stuff you've been hearing for a while, just with some different people. Like, now it's JJ, instead of Darvin. They can keep changing coaches, but it's not going to change where they are. They've got LeBron and Anthony Davis, and, what? Until LeBron leaves, it's not going to be a good job, you know? You're going to be held to a standard that isn't realistic. LeBron's almost 40, man, come on. He can still do great things, because he's freaking LeBron. But in terms of getting that team to be good consistently for a period of years, a contender, it's not going to happen with how it's set up now. They took their shot these last couple of years, and it didn't work. They have to be honest. 2 stars weren't enough with what they had around them. It wasn't a coaching thing. It almost never is. Now that LeBron has had his chance to play with Bronny and have that be a part of his legacy, he has to assess this team. I think he's finding that team wanting, which makes a lot of people around the league think he might finally be open to a trade to play somewhere else at the championship level. The question is, how can you make that trade? There's only a few teams where his delivery brings them from the second plateau to the top, but it's hard, if not impossible, for teams like that to take his contract. The Lakers have struggled to replicate the success of their 2020 championship season. Over the past 4 years, the team has faced first-round playoff exits, injuries to key players, and even missed the postseason entirely in 2021-22. This season, the Lakers sit at a middling 13-11 record, plagued by inconsistency, despite standout performances from LeBron James and Anthony Davis. While James continues to produce at an elite level, averaging 23.0 points, 8.0 rebounds, and 9.1 assists on 49.5% shooting, the team's supporting cast has failed to step up. Advanced stats reveal that only James and Davis are performing at a starter level. The insider suggests the championship window for the LeBron-AD duo has already closed. The notion that James is holding the Lakers back feels like a significant stretch. LeBron remains one of only two players in the league, alongside reigning MVP Nikola Jokic, averaging over 20 points, 8 rebounds, and 9 assists per game. At 39, his continued dominance is unprecedented and speaks to his extraordinary longevity. The Lakers' struggles are less about LeBron and more about roster construction. The front office has repeatedly failed to surround James and Davis with the kind of depth needed to compete in a stacked Western Conference. Advanced analytics expose the lack of impact on players beyond the team's two superstars. Moreover, injuries to key rotation players and questionable roster decisions have further hindered their competitiveness. The insider's claim highlights the grim reality facing the Lakers. With their current roster, they lack the firepower to match up against championship-caliber teams like the Denver Nuggets, Boston Celtics, or Oklahoma City Thunder. While first-year head coach J.J. Redick has shown promise, coaching alone cannot overcome the talent gap on the roster. The Lakers' front office has tough decisions to make. If they want to maximize what remains of LeBron's career, they must make bold moves before the trade deadline to upgrade the roster. Otherwise, the franchise risks squandering the twilight of the greatest career in NBA history. In short, the blame doesn't lie with LeBron James. Instead, the Lakers' management must act decisively to create a roster capable of competing at the highest level. With James still performing at an elite level, the time to build a contender is now, not after his retirement. J.J. Redick hopeful recent adversity can help Lakers come together. The Los Angeles Lakers have been in the midst of a very rough stretch over the past couple of weeks. The team has lost 7 of their last 10 games and been blown out in many of those while often looking disengaged and lethargic, much to the dismay of head coach J.J. Redick. Redick and the Lakers coaching staff have been working hard to fix the issues plaguing this team on the court, but it has not come to fruition just yet. But Redick still believes the Lakers can turn things around and is hopeful that this bit of adversity will be good for the team overall. Well, adversity is good. I think it toughens your resolve, it forces you to problem solve, Redick said prior to the Lakers' victory over the Portland Trail Blazers. It hopefully can bring the group together. I think it's a Jay-Z song, I don't know the exact title, but it says it was all good just a week ago. And the reality is, that's the NBA. Every team is gonna go through a stretch like this, good teams, bad teams. The games come so fast and you have an injury or you have a couple bad games and you go into a funk or into a shooting slump. This is it, this is the NBA. I felt that as a player, certainly feel it in this stretch as a coach. Overall, delineation between some of the games that we've lost, which have been puzzling to me, versus some games you lost like the game at Phoenix earlier in the season and the Atlanta game, where it just comes down to a couple plays but overall your process and your competitive level was good, like Oklahoma City at home. You live with those results and you try to get better from them. The puzzling ones are I think the ones that are frustrating, not just for me, for everyone. Players, coaches, organization, fans. I get it. So we're encouraged with a lot of the stuff we saw Friday night. Without a doubt the Lakers have had some discouraging losses this season with the likes of the Phoenix Suns, Denver Nuggets, and Minnesota Timberwolves all blowing the Lakers out. That being said, Redick will continue to be honest with his players and lead them the best way he feels. We're professionals. I don't look at positive and negative, Redick added. I look at it as just being real and honest. I would much prefer to praise. I would much prefer that. I generally have a very optimistic and joyful and grateful outlook on life. But I think the job is to lead. That's the charge as a coach and the head of the team is to lead. As I got older in my career, I got very comfortable with that. There's probably a learning curve for any first-year head coach in terms of just the leadership component and all of that is required of being the leader. Redick will continue to try and push the right buttons to help this team reach another level, but it will also be on the players to execute the plan given to them. Regardless, it sounds as if the players and coaches are on the same page in terms of the belief in this team overall and what needs to be done to compete at the highest level. J.J. Redick feels Lakers need recovery time more than practice. With some days off before they take the court again, the Lakers finally have some time to get on the practice court, something coach J.J. Redick feels is a necessity to help the team shore some things up. However, with so many injuries on the roster, Redick actually plans to prioritize rest and recovery. "So I would have liked to practice, but I think you do have to look at these opportunities, and they're very rare, to give your guys 2 days off," Redick said. "Tuesday is not mandatory but will be sort of a recovery, get what you need day for guys that need it. But heck, if somebody wants to go spend a couple nights in Santa Barbara and relax, that's fine too." NBA Daily Picks for December 13, 2024, Lakers face tough test in battle against Wolves. After a flawless 3-0 performance in last night's predictions, our season record has improved to an impressive 143-80, pushing our accuracy rate to 64.1%. Tonight, we're set for an 8-game slate featuring some intriguing matchups, and we're ready to aim for another strong showing. The night begins with the disappointing Washington Wizards taking on the dominant Cleveland Cavaliers, who will look to continue their strong start. Meanwhile, the struggling Indiana Pacers face the equally struggling Philadelphia 76ers, with both teams desperate to turn things around. In a battle of underperforming teams, the Charlotte Hornets meet the Chicago Bulls, where each side will seek to capitalize on the other's vulnerabilities. Later, the Los Angeles Lakers face the Minnesota Timberwolves in a matchup of two teams aiming for greater consistency and stability. The Brooklyn Nets, battling through a rough patch, face the red-hot Memphis Grizzlies, who have been surging. The Los Angeles Clippers take on the stumbling Denver Nuggets in a Western Conference showdown where both teams will look to regain their form. In the late games, the Phoenix Suns clash with the Utah Jazz in what could be a high-scoring affair, while the San Antonio Spurs face the Portland Trail Blazers, with both teams searching for signs of progress. Let's dive into these matchups and aim for another stellar night of predictions. Washington Wizards at Cleveland Cavaliers, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wizards current record, 3-19. Cavaliers current record, 21-4. Wizards injuries: Kyle Kuzma out, ribs; Corey Kispert out, ankle; Keyshawn George out, ankle; Malcolm Brogdon out, hamstring; Tristan Vukcevic out, knee; Saddiq Bey out, knee. Cavaliers injuries: Evan Mobley day-to-day, ankle; Isaac Okoro day-to-day, knee; Max Strus out, ankle; Craig Porter Jr. out, illness; Emoni Bates out, knee. Last 5 meetings, Cavaliers lead 5-0. The Washington Wizards head to Cleveland to face the Cavaliers in a challenging matchup at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. The Wizards have struggled this season, sitting at the bottom of the Eastern Conference standings. However, they recently snapped a lengthy losing streak with a win over the Denver Nuggets, highlighted by Jordan Poole's 39-point explosion. Despite this, Washington continues to face issues with injuries to key players like Kyle Kuzma and Malcolm Brogdon, hampering their overall consistency. The Cavaliers, on the other hand, are one of the league's top teams, boasting a strong record and solid play on both ends of the court. Led by Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland, Cleveland's offense has been efficient, while their defense ranks among the league's best. Even with injuries to players like Evan Mobley, the Cavs have shown resilience, thanks to contributions from their bench and strong leadership from their stars. The Wizards' lack of defensive discipline and scoring depth will likely be exploited by Cleveland, making this a tough contest for Washington. Prediction: Cavaliers def. Wizards 128-110. Indiana Pacers at Philadelphia 76ers, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Pacers current record, 10-15. Sixers current record, 7-15. Pacers injuries: Aaron Nesmith out, ankle; Ben Shepherd out, oblique; Isaiah Jackson out, Achilles; James Wiseman out, Achilles. Sixers injuries: Adem Bona out, knee; Caleb Martin out, shoulder. Last 5 meetings, Sixers lead 5-0. The Philadelphia 76ers will host the Indiana Pacers at the Wells Fargo Center on Friday night, which is an intriguing matchup. The 76ers, bolstered by a healthier roster including Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey, are riding the momentum of winning 4 of their last 5 games. Philadelphia's recent surge has been fueled by stifling defense, holding opponents to just 100 points per game over that stretch. Embiid, fresh off a dominant 31-point, 12-rebound performance, remains the centerpiece of the Sixers' attack. Indiana, meanwhile, has struggled for consistency, losing 4 of their last 5 games. The Pacers will look to Tyrese Halliburton to lead the charge, but his recent performances have been below his usual standard. Indiana's defense will need to tighten up, as they've allowed nearly 119 points per game over their recent skid. Despite their struggles, the Pacers have the ability to compete, especially if they can disrupt Philadelphia's offensive rhythm. Prediction: Sixers def. Pacers 118-108. Charlotte Hornets at Chicago Bulls 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hornets current record 7-17. Bulls current record 10-15. Hornets injuries not applicable. Bulls injuries: Zach LaVine day-to-day, back; Josh Giddey day-to-day, back; Nikola Vucevic day-to-day, illness; Lonzo Ball day-to-day, knee; Patrick Williams out, foot. Last 5 meetings, Bulls lead 5-0. The Chicago Bulls host the Charlotte Hornets in a clash of struggling teams looking to find consistency this season. The Bulls, led by Zach LaVine and Nikola Vucevic, have shown flashes of offensive firepower, ranking 4th in the NBA in scoring at 119.1 points per game. However, their defensive struggles have hindered their success, allowing a league-worst 123 points per game. Chicago will aim to exploit Charlotte's defensive vulnerabilities and take advantage of their home court to snap a 2-game losing streak. On the other hand, the Hornets come into this matchup without star point guard LaMelo Ball, which puts added pressure on Brandon Miller and forward Miles Bridges to lead the offense. Despite their struggles, the Hornets have a respectable defensive ranking, allowing 112.6 points per game. However, their inability to consistently score, averaging just 107.1 points per game, has been their Achilles heel. This game presents a battle of contrasting strengths, with Chicago's potent offense going up against Charlotte's solid defensive scheme. The Bulls' depth and star power, combined with the absence of LaMelo Ball, make them the favorites to emerge victorious. Analysis: only LeBron James truly understands what is happening at the moment and what lies ahead for him. LeBron James was the star in Las Vegas at this time last year, leading the Los Angeles Lakers to win the first-ever NBA Cup. Things are different now. Lakers coach J.J. Redick explained this week that James is missing from practice due to personal reasons and left foot soreness, which is why he won't play in the game against Minnesota on Friday. Recently, there's been talk about possible trades involving James, with teams like Golden State potentially interested if he became available. James is also turning 40 in about 2 weeks. Whenever James isn't playing, it makes headlines. Taking time off for personal reasons raises questions. It could mean he's hurt, frustrated with the Lakers' recent struggles, or simply needing a break. But for now, it's clear he won't be playing on Friday. All of this is very fluid, Redick said when asked about James' absence. All of it is. All of it is. That's what's crystallized. James holds the power with his no-trade clause. If he wants to be traded, it's likely he'll be. If not, he'll stay with the Lakers alongside his son Bronny. The Lakers only have 2 games next week, so it's a good time for James to rest if his foot is bothering him or if the toll of 22 seasons is catching up with him. In short, nobody knows what's going on except LeBron. He's the oldest player in the league, has broken nearly every record, and has more money than he could ever spend. There's nothing left to prove. He is under contract for next season, but whether he plays after this season is uncertain. I'm not going to play that much longer, to be completely honest. I don't know how many years that is, if it's 1 year, 2 years, whatever the case may be, James said last month. I'm not playing till the wheels fall off. I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not going to be the guy who's disrespecting the game because I just want to be out on the floor. That won't be me. Despite his lower scoring average, 23 points per game, his lowest since his rookie season, his rebounding and assist numbers are up. The only other player averaging 23 points, 8 rebounds, and 9 assists per game this season, is Denver's Nikola Jokic, a strong MVP contender. So, his performance is still solid. It's also worth noting that the NBA trade season is heating up. Starting Sunday, 85 players are eligible to be traded, and there's a lot of buzz around big names, including Jimmy Butler's future in Miami. Narratives, Heat coach Erik Spoelstra said Thursday. That's going to happen, in every organization at some point during the season. This might be one of those moments for the Lakers. As of Friday, they've lost 7 of their last 10 games, with 4 of those losses being by at least 25 points. James has seemed frustrated, but that's understandable after tough losses. Even though James isn't playing, his presence is still felt in Las Vegas. There's a large advertisement with his image near the baggage claim at the airport, promoting a liquor company. But on the court, he won't be seen, and it's unclear when he will be next. NBA executive sees surprising landing spot for Lakers star LeBron James. The Los Angeles Lakers have been in the midst of a tough streak over the past few weeks. After a strong start to the new season, Los Angeles has fallen back down to earth in terms of contention. This has led many to believe that the Lakers will be very active at the upcoming trade deadline as the team searches for another title run. But recent rumors have also led some to believe that Los Angeles could pull a drastic measure and trade superstar LeBron James. Of course, James wouldn't be moved unless he asked for a trade. There have been a few teams mentioned if the 4-time MVP were to become available via trade. The Golden State Warriors have been the most heavily linked squad, but other teams could get involved. James would likely have full say in where he was traded, with Los Angeles helping him in the process. One anonymous NBA executive spoke with Steve Bulpett of Heavy.com about the possibility of James landing with the Sacramento Kings. The one place that I don't hear a lot of talk about with LeBron is Sacramento, he said. He could change them, and they might have the kind assets to make a trade work. They have a lot of young talent, and because they're a small market, they haven't spent like drunken sailors. They have some draft picks, a young talent. If they could get to the salary, LeBron would take De'Aaron, Fox and Domantas Sabonis and elevate the hell out of them, particularly Fox. With that threesome, those guys could be a force. James landing with the Kings would be interesting for multiple reasons. On the one hand, Sacramento is a direct rival of the Lakers, and Los Angeles could be hesitant to deal him there. But the team could also be one player away from truly contending for a title. James could be the missing piece, and linking up with De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis could be intriguing. Sacramento does have a few young players and draft picks that could entice the Lakers into making a deal. Even if James asks out, the Lakers will still want to receive a haul for his services, wherever he is traded. At this point, it's unlikely that the Lakers will trade James, as he has made no indication he wants to be moved. In all likelihood, Los Angeles will try to revamp the team around James and co-star Anthony Davis in search of another NBA title. And are you a fan? What do you think of LeBron James leaving? Leave your opinion in the comments.